All right, everybody. Hold on. I'm keeping this part, but the rest of this can go. This is the amount I'm keeping. I guess I'm throwing out most of my theories. Hi, welcome to WandaVision, Fake Nerds Watch. I'm Marc Switty. I'm joined with Brandon T. McClure, Ben
Hello.
Magnet, and Ryan Eliopoulos. We're here to talk about the latest episode of WandaVision, episode 8. Previously on.
Yeah, last week you and I were holding fast with our big theories. This episode, whatever, just do what you want, Marvel. Whatever. I don't even know. It's great. I love being wrong. Nothing makes me happier in mysteries than being wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Also introducing wild new things that could have again big ramifications for the Marvel universe just by saying a couple words. It's a good episode. I thought this was a very, very good episode.
I think the big thing that we're alluding to is that this episode reveals that Wanda did create the hex. It was not Agatha all along. She's been sabotaging it.
Yeah.
And that was quite a reveal.
Yeah, and she might have been a witch this whole time, which I think is an awesome retcon.
I did too. She says Agatha, and you can take Agatha's words at face value if you want to. But she says you had powers and then the Mind Stone amplified them.
Something that would have died on the vine. I think so. Something that would have just ended got amplified.
Right.
Which is interesting. It's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool little detail to Wanda. And for me, and this is just me, and I'm not saying for everyone else, for me, it closes the book on Pietro and Wanda being mutants.
Yeah. I wasn't ever a part of that. I was just hoping even the word mutant would just be uttered, just so to give us a little tease of oh, what does that mean? I never expected X-Men from this. I want this to be a centered thing. Don't make it this big thing. Let it be about these characters.
Especially just like Wanda. I think we gotta call it on that Pietro cameo, guys.
What about it?
I don't think we're getting an Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Man, the next episode, I fully do not know what to expect, especially after the post-credit scene. I'm so many things happened in this episode where I'm just really, anything really could happen. I expect everything and nothing to happen next episode.
You actually called it.
Huh.
You called it last episode. You said White Vision might. What if White Vision showed up?
Well, it's just now that we know that Vision's body is a thing. It was just a dream, a dumb dream. That's too stupid. They couldn't do that. But Kevin Feige found a way to make that dumbass White Vision come to life. And he looks particularly dumb, but I really like it because I think that's the point. He's a dumb military Vision.
Yeah. Like War Machine and Iron Man 2.
Yeah, he's the big, yeah.
Yeah, the point is that this is what the military bastardizes these superheroes to look like. When Justin Hammer made all the drones out of Iron Man, and they don't look as good as Iron Man, and that's the point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm glad. Well, maybe not. It would be cool if he had a bad Vision name, if he was I was gonna say Spectre or something, but it's cool that he's just he's still the Vision. Dad, is that you? He's gonna fight those boys. Oh, get this out of the way. I now know who Paul Bettany's secret cameo, who the person he wanted to work with the most is. It's himself.
Yes,
it's a joke. He was effing with us the entire time. Yes. Paul Bettany, you're funny. Unless Al Pacino still shows up, it's not happening. But he's gonna work with himself and fight himself. It's gonna be a hoot and a holler.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, that's the cameo he's talking about. It's himself.
For a year, for weeks, I was gonna say a year. For weeks, he's been they think it's somebody big. It's me.
I will also say he could not have been messing with us, and it could have been someone. But I think it'd be really funny if it is just it's been me the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you thought it was Agatha all along, but it was me, Paul Bettany.
Yeah, he's the secret mastermind. With one episode left. And there were rumors that there'd be a 10th episode, but I don't believe any rumor anymore after the last couple of weeks of failed rumors. With only one episode left, I can't see how they can introduce a lot more elements because they have so many things to close. So I fully expect it to just be everything that we've already seen. I expect Doctor Strange to show up in some capacity, but as maybe at the very end or something. But I still think it's
post credits.
Even post credits, yeah, but like these are going to be the central characters. Like no one big's gonna show up. I think it's just going to be a battle between Wanda and Visions, and then Monica and Pietro, who somebody posted on Twitter. There was a fight in an old Avengers comic from the 80s where Captain Marvel fights Pietro. So like they're even pulling from that. Like that's cool.
I remember when he showed up, and I wasn't even committed to it, but I hypothesized that he could just be, not Evan Peters from the Fox X-Men universe. He just is a representation of another face for Pietro.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was going to be correct, but that is correct.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Pietro. It's just like a wave.
What's been interesting are the things that have been. We're an episode away from the ending of the series. This is the penultimate episode, and now we've gotten some answers, a lot of answers, and it's been really interesting to see what of our theories and what of the internet theories have been correct and what haven't. I speculated in episode 6. Yeah, 6. That how many episodes are there? That Wanda did create the hex because she was able to control it. And then the Agatha all along was like, oh, that's not true, and then that turned out to be true. Spark speculated that Wanda didn't come out of the hex and throw the drone. That kind of has to be Wanda now in order for it to be her powers on the drone, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just been very interesting to see like the smaller things ended up being true, where the bigger things ended up being wrong.
Yeah, and I'm very glad about that because, again, because I'm used to the Marvel Universe going bigger in scope. Like, I was expecting this to keep getting bigger, but really, it's been fairly self-contained and stayed like a drama for the most part, which I'm so happy about. Like, they're keeping restrained, which is something I always respect and love.
I still stand by my interpretation being correct that Wanda, once it all started, Wanda she wasn't aware, meaning that all of this was new as it unfolded to her.
Yeah.
Meaning that the whole time it is a contest of like Wanda unsure what's her and what isn't her and what she's responsible for and what she's not, and entirely convinced that she's not responsible for what's happening to all these people.
And we talked about how Pietro was kind of gaslighting her into thinking that like she did this, but in fact he was trying to get information for Agatha because Agatha was trying to figure out how this happened because she didn't know.
Right. So good. So
good. What was the other thing is I think there is some. I think I'm going to stick to my whole thing about Vision not being fully controlled until like. He was kind of under Wanda's spell and under Wanda's control, which is why he doesn't immediately go to help his boss in the first episode, which is why he slowly kind of becomes his own person. So like slowly through the episode, as Wanda realizes what's happening, as Wanda realizes that she is that the hex isn't real, Vision is also starting to kind of become his own entity outside of Wanda throughout the episodes. I think that's a really interesting character arc.
Is Vision born again?
I don't know because so one of the things I'm actually really happy of is that Wanda didn't bust into Sword and steal Vision's body like the director.
I was shocked. I was shocked when that happened. I was like, wait, she just drove there and she.
Yeah.
That's the biggest twist.
The moment it showed her at the desk, I'm like, this scene wasn't what they told us this scene was.
Yeah. For me, the biggest twist was that like one of the person who almost beat Thanos single-handedly drives us like a Mini Cooper. Like it's just like there's just something weird. It's so regular. I'm driving.
Well,
like,
and
it's just so weird. It's not a big deal.
And it recontextualized Hayward for this whole time. He baited her.
Yeah.
He baited her and made her do this. He put the piece with Vision's will. I bought this for us to grow old, and he put that in her car. He made this happen. He tried to push her to bring him back to life, and then made this whole thing occur.
And it didn't work the way he wanted it to work because it
didn't.
Because you see him, he like kind of backs away and like is studying her and like and is like he's trying to like bait her to be like, okay, if she takes Vision, I have a sentient weapon.
So here's a question. I want to talk about Vision. I want to talk about Vision as he is now manifested. He exists.
Mm-hmm.
Vision seems to be Vision all over again. And here's some things. We know he comes from Wanda now, but he's still made of vibranium.
Yep.
Because they're tracking him.
Yeah, they are.
They're tracking him by vibranium.
I mean, she just made him...
He's fully manifested.
Yeah.
He's also entirely designed of yellow. Entirely designed of the same magic of the Mind Stone that created him.
Mm-hmm.
Which almost makes it seem like Wanda channels whatever power she has connected still to the stone to re-manifest Vision.
Yeah. Okay, so this is where I think I'll bring this up really quickly and we can talk about it later when we get to the scene. I think she is channeling power through another entity, but it is not Mephisto. It is Chthon, who is the chaos magic entity who she is so tied to, where all of this is coming from. Like, it makes so much sense looking at it now. But when they said chaos magic only comes from one place, and it's from Chthon. And when he was gone, chaos magic didn't exist. So I think she in some way unlocked him. He might have been trapped in the Mind Stone or something. So now she has this power connected to him. So she has this extra big guns, as Agatha called it. So she has the power to bring a vibranium sentient guy back to life.
So by using chaos magic, Vision is truly restored.
Yes.
He is reborn of the Mind Stone conduit through Wanda.
She used evil black magic to make him return from the grave in a new body, basically.
But he can't leave the hex.
I think
yet.
I think here's what I'm wondering. They very deliberately showed her creating the hex and then creating Vision. It wasn't simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
If it was made simultaneously, then I would think Vision is tied to the hex. But she made him differently, or she made him separately. So
no, differently, because it's all her red magic, and then it's that specific yellow Mind Stone magic that forms Vision.
So
must be fun not being colorblind.
Oh man, yeah, sorry, man.
They're two colors.
They're two different colors. Yeah,
this color is yellow.
Yeah.
And this color created Vision.
Yeah. I think. I lost it. Okay. What were we talking about?
We were talking about how she manifests Vision, two different powers.
Yes, thank you. I think Vision now, I didn't think so before, but now I do think Vision is his own entity. Just the hex is so powerful, it won't let him leave. Like, it would kill him, it would destroy him before letting him leave.
So my theory about this is, this could be stupid. This is my Hail Mary. Let's call it my Hail Mary of the week. I think what's going to happen is White Vision and Hex Vision are going to merge and become a sentient Vision that can leave the hex.
Oh, like that Vision able to enter?
I also thought of that too. As like but here was the thing, is like, I was thinking of that as like, well, then he'll get a body. But I'm like, no,
he has a body.
He has a body.
He has
the vibranium body. So I don't know that it's that simple.
See, I thought that too, but then as you just said that, I realized he doesn't need the White Vision's body because he does have his own. He does his own body again. So he just has to beat up the evil.
I guess theoretically, by the same logic that Vision can't leave the hex, the kids also can't leave the hex. But if we're going to continue on the theory that the kids make it out of the show being alive, then
100%.
Then they will. Then something will have to happen that all three of them should be able to leave the hex when this is done.
Well, I think at the end of this episode, I think the end of the show, the hex is going to be gone.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I am 98% positive the kids get lost in the multiverse,
or get taken.
By the end of this show, and that is key plot point picked up in Doctor Strange.
Ben, I'm sorry, we've been rambling nonstop, and you haven't said a single thing. I apologize.
No, I mentioned that the director's lying his ass off.
Cool.
It's the director.
Okay, there you go. He's good. Okay, continue.
Anyway, we're talking.
Go ahead, Ben.
No, I mean, you guys nailed a lot of the points, and you guys are a lot more versed in the Wanda, I almost called it the WandaVision comics, the Scarlet Witch comics than I am, because
just spend a lot of time on Wikipedia.
Yeah, well, also I don't know. I guess I'm just lazy in that aspect, but just seeing all the Agatha stuff, like going back in time through seeing like Wanda's experiences, I loved that. Like seeing we're all because a lot of my friends, they've been asking me, it's like, hey Ben, have you been watching WandaVision? Because I'm kind of on WandaVision. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And I keep telling them, like, watch it, power through the first few episodes. Once you get to episode 4, it's all gonna make sense. I freaking swear. Because I love how we get how all the sitcom stuff sits into place. Because I know people are like, why is it like a sitcom? Boom, Wanda loves sitcoms. That's how she learned English.
I want to put a bookmark because you tend to go through a point and then go to another point. I want to put a bookmark at the end of that point because we should talk about the fact that we saw Wanda's past in Sokovia, her childhood. We saw the moment that we heard in Age of Ultron with the bomb.
I definitely like. I think the dumbest, most aggravating anti-WandaVision stuff I've seen has been people complaining about her liking sitcoms when that was never mentioned in any previous MCU property. And I'm like, oh yeah.
When would that get brought up?
That was my point. I'm really upset that they didn't hold on the moment where she's in Civil War at her room after Lagos, and she's not watching Dick Van Dyke instead of what she did in Lagos. I'm like, man, boy, why did they tell me how much she likes sitcoms?
I was imagining she was in the airport battle in Civil War, and next to like Black Panther, she's like, did you know I like I Love Lucy? When do you naturally just bring that up? And like, I don't just naturally, hey, I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you guys. Like, you just don't do that.
Well, because I was talking about it with Megan, and I'm like, there are only 2 MCU characters I can think of where like you have a pretty solid knowledge of their pop culture interests, and it's Tony Stark and
Captain America, because he has none.
And Star-Lord.
Star-Lord, yeah. Okay.
And like, you know things they like because they play them musically or they reference them in pop culture.
It's part of their character.
That's part of their characters, but otherwise you don't know that about people.
That's a more personal thing. That's not that's a more introvert thing than an extrovert.
I'm like, this is exactly what the show is for, is to explore that exact idea, and nothing about them doing it undid anything about her character development in previous projects.
Yeah, but also question, what character development?
Yeah, so that's what. Okay, so I really like Elizabeth Olsen as an actress. I really like Scarlet Witch as a character. Civil War is my favorite Marvel movie. I will be the first person to tell you that the relationship between Vision and her is barely there, and it's there because it's in there in the comics, and like I like those 2 characters together. But like the WandaVision. If that had to suffer for WandaVision to exist, thank God. Because this episode, for me, single-handedly like redeemed the character of Wanda for me. Because otherwise, she's been fine. This show, now she's like, I like this character a lot.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, what this show does is similar to what Endgame did to Thor the Dark World.
Yeah.
It recontextualized a prior thing in the MCU, especially that scene where we see Vision and Wanda after Age of Ultron when they're in the Avengers compound. Like, now that I have that scene to contextualize the relationship in Civil War, that's great.
Yeah,
right.
It helps. Yep.
I think like Age of Ultron is where we've had the strongest Wanda character stuff, because that's where she's established. That's where you have the background that this is building more onto.
Yeah.
But that was all that, like, Age of Ultron, it's very clear she had strong things that she cared about her brother. They had their whole family in Sokovia history that made sense, that worked. Her connection to the Avengers after that made sense. All of that functioned well. And then after that, it hasn't been built upon extremely well. And now they're fleshing that out from top to bottom.
Yep.
And it makes a lot of sense. I meant to post it to you guys before we watched this, and I forgot. On Twitter, people were sharing a storyboard piece from this episode when she goes to Sword. And part of it is that at the bottom of the text, when she's confronting the director, she has a whole line where she references, why is the only Avenger we care about dying Tony? Why are we acting like he's the only Avenger that matters? Where's the memorial for Natasha? Which I really wish they'd done, because in that same fluke, she points out how they like way aggrandize Tony Stark as the only Avenger in the MCU, which is kind of also parable for our world, as the important one who died. But it would have at least kind of hinted at the fact, like I've been talking to Ryan off air about, which is that Wanda, outside of Vision, her closest paragons in the MCU would arguably be Natasha and Steve, and both of them are gone too.
Yeah.
So she's truly alone because of that. And I wish that they'd had that moment to acknowledge it, that she's pained by the fact that, like, at least there's kind of a nice send off on Steve, but like she lost Natasha also. Natasha was her friend.
Even Hawkeye. Hawkeye has a great moment with her in Age of Ultron, and then in Civil War, like he rescues her.
Right, where they talk about her.
Yeah.
And like calling back to that, it's kind of a bummer that storyboard got tossed out, but I do think it's cool that they even were considering a line where she's talking about them that way.
That is like the kind of like juicy nuance that I would love to see more of. Like we're getting some of that in WandaVision, but like like who's the important Avengers to you people? Like, am I not good enough? Like, did I not save the world 3 times enough? Was 2 only?
Did Vision not do enough?
Yeah,
did Natasha not do enough? I thought it was a great line. I'll send it to you guys after. I wanted it to be something we could all have the knowledge of to talk about here, but it's just a cool thing to know that they built something like that.
It's funny because the only time we actually see any like quote unquote memorial for Captain America, for Steve and Natasha, is in that opening of Spider-Man Far From Home. In like the video.
Yeah. There's also the after Natasha dies, they kind of have a moment on the dock, but that's really it.
Yeah,
which is what Ryan was referencing, which really worked because they're both like meeting over mutual pain.
Yeah,
which is good.
And then Hulk throws like a bench or something.
Yeah, I mean, not to knock that, because in Spider-Man Far From Home, Tony was a father figure to Peter Parker, so that's why he's more featured in Spider-Man Far From Home. But you're absolutely right. Right, a lot of people are more talking about Tony Stark dying than Natasha or Captain America losing the shield.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's because in Endgame, Stark gets the funeral.
Yeah,
right.
Nobody else.
It just became clear to me, like as we were watching WandaVision last week and this week, it became clear to me how truly alone she is.
Man,
because I was thinking about like. And especially as we're going through the flashbacks and we see her at the compound with Vision, and I'm like, man, the only other 2 people we really see her close to are Steve and Natasha. They're the people who are looking out for her when she's having her secret romance with him. They're the people that are trying to protect her. They're the people that are taking care of her after Lagos. They are her other like major pillars, and they both disappear at the end of Endgame also.
You know who would be taking care of Vision and his dead body if he were alive? Tony Stark.
Right.
Because he's not letting that piece of technology that was once part Ultron, made of vibranium, go into Sword's hands. Like, he would be fighting that tooth and nail. He probably cares about Wanda, but like he would definitely be more invested in the technological aspect. And it's a shame because he's also gone now.
He also paid.
That was Well, that was my thing where it was like when I realized a couple episodes, I didn't really think about this, but I had the question like, wait, why did Hayward even have Vision? Because I can understand after Vision dies and 50% of the population of the Earth disappears that, you know, Vision's body isn't our priority right now. But like afterwards, Sword shouldn't have been in control of Vision. The Avengers should have taken him.
They said Hayward said it is his legal obligation. So Sword figured out a way, and I said to him, they probably have like the greatest evil lawyers in the world, where they figured out a way through the snap, through everyone's death, that Sword was somehow able to get the body, even if it's through the most shadiest of means.
Well, the Sokovia Accords could have been that.
Sure,
probably. But also, Hayward said it's his legal and ethical responsibility to take Vision, and also he cannot let Wanda take $3 billion worth of vibranium and put it in the ground.
It's very true. It is very true.
The thing that I remembered. That I just remembered is that in Falcon and Winter Soldier, we're going to be talking about the Sokovia Accords again, meaning that they are still around in whatever capacity. I remember we complained about the fact that they were just like an Infinity War, but
well, they were brought up by Jimmy Woo earlier this show too.
Oh, that's right. And so like I can now understand that perhaps Hayward saying the word legally probably meant that because Vision signed the Accords, he was one of the first people to sign the Sokovia Accords. Legally, Vision belonged to the government.
True that. Also, he's not technically a living being, so he is a piece of metal to them.
There's so much attached to like that. I'm sure we'll never get into really about like the circumstances of the legality of how they could have gotten Vision's body. Because to me, here's the biggest thing: Vision died in Wakanda. And he's an entirely vibranium body. Yeah. And I'm like, there's no way Wakanda was just like, yeah, take that.
Yeah.
There's no way that was okay. I mean, they had to work their way down. Well, here's the thing is like, when did Sword get Vision's body?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because it looks very recent. It doesn't look like they've had it for 5 years.
They just took them apart. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think those questions are going to be answered, but I don't mind doing the mental gymnastics to figure it out, because that's the fun part about the MCU, is filling in the gaps.
Yeah, neither do I. Those aren't necessarily questions I need answers to. I'm just like, there's definitely some weird legalese I feel like would have to come in because of the Accords, because of the Avengers, because of Wakanda, that like make how Vision's body got from there to there really strange, but it's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I do not. I confess, I really wanted to watch the episode a second time. I want to talk about the opening, otherwise known as really the earliest scene we've ever seen in the MCU, apart from Odin.
Yeah.
Agatha being a witch.
Very interesting Salem Witch Trials.
So I know you know this theory. I know you know this theory. Friend of the podcast, Megan's sister Katie, brought forth that she thinks Agatha dabbled in chaos magic.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why her magic is purple. It's a mix of the blue and the red.
That's what I think.
Which blew my mind in multiple ways.
Right. Yeah. Which is why it's rebounding back against all the other witches using blue.
Yes. That's
that seems perfectly valid to me. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So the thing that I love about this episode is it's that this 500-year-old witch is like pissed at this 25-year-old who can just do anything she wants, where she spent like centuries just being able to do like the most basic of things. And she's like basically jealous. And she's like, how the hell did you do this? Please tell me, because I've spent my entire life doing the worst things to be able to just turn a bird turn a fly into a bird. Right. How can you do this to an entire town? Please tell me. I'm so curious.
But then she's scared. Awesome. But then she's scared when she realizes that she's the Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm. Which is I get why they haven't called her that so far. I think it's great. I think this is the closest thing that we're going to get to a Dark Phoenix saga in a long time. Without calling it Dark Phoenix, I think this very much feels like there's an entity that looks like the Scarlet Witch, but that's really a Cthulhu-esque demon from another dimension. That's either siphoning her energy or giving her energy.
I mean, it could also be her future self. We could see her in that costume at the end of the series.
That's true, but the Mind Stones. I don't know.
I'm just throwing it out there. Like, I don't know. It's all theories.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to point out that when I want to say like Agatha's mother, I don't know if that was her real mother or not. When she's like doing her magic stuff, you see like the crown. You see like the Scarlet Witch crown. You see like the Scarlet Witch crown on her head. Was it?
I was saying I'm pretty sure that's her real mom.
Yeah. She knows that like she's evil. Yeah.
But you still see the Scarlet Witch crown in like magic form. Like, ooh, I hope we kind of get that when Wanda becomes like these.
It's not exactly the Scarlet Witch crown because it's got 3.
It's not the Scarlet Witch crown. I don't know what it is, but like I think that's just some type of magic thing.
It looked more to me like Lich King style.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, like more like but
it's not Scarlet Witch's. It's got the centerpiece, so it's.
I think that's like almost like a red herring type of thing to do. Like, oh look, it looks like that thing.
You know what? It could just be as simple as like she's the head witch and she has a crown made of magic.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Manifest. Yeah.
Good de-aging on Catherine Hahn in that scene, by the way.
Yeah, I wasn't sure the first time I watched it. I was like. And then I watched it with you, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's some subtle little. All right, good job.
It's the Kurt Russell. It's the Kurt Russell de-aging. The slight touch-ups.
Yeah.
Only little bits, because I thought I was like, is that actually Catherine Hahn, or did they get a new actress that looks like? Nope, that's actually her. They just de-aged her. Got it.
Yeah.
She's totally pulling off the stupid shoot beams at a witch thing.
Okay. I love the. Go ahead, man.
I know it's at the very end, but I love her witch costume at the very end where she's up there, she's levitating. You can totally tell the fans are on her with her hair being blown back and everything.
Her legs are like shadows.
Her legs, it's like part Calabar, part something else, but just like really
Calabar,
cool.
yes.
But she's like, I know what you are. You're the Scarlet Witch. I was like, this is awesome. I'm for this. Please don't kill Catherine Hahn. Please let her live. I want to see more of her down the line. Just please, Marvel, don't do this to me.
Her costume design feels very like it doesn't. She hasn't modernized it.
Hocus pocus.
She's just like, I'm keeping the 1600s. F you.
Yeah. She puts a spell on you.
I want to highlight. Sorry, I just saw my notes because I wrote notes this episode because I liked it so much. This might be my favorite of the series so far. And I know I've said that before, but I think this might be my favorite episode.
I think for sure this one is, because this gave me so much of like the background emotional stuff that I've been wanting.
Yeah.
Like I get her as a character now more.
There is a wonderful callback to Infinity War where she says, "I can't feel you."
Oh yeah, that
Beautiful.
Infinity War. Yeah, it's good.
This has like the best line of the year. That's like that every writer on Twitter is like, I can't believe this is in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what is love if not? What is the line? Like,
what is love if not? What is grief if not love persevering?
Not love persevering.
Yeah, which is like the best line like ever in the history of love. And I'm like, man, this isn't a comic show. Like, god damn it, it's so good. Yeah, that little scene.
That line kind of reminds me of the Mewtwo line in Pokemon where he says, "I see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It's what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are." It's like these so super motivational, heartfelt lines come from a Pokemon movie and a damn comic book show.
Well, what I lump it in with the same category of that and Spy Kids 2, Steve Buscemi saying, "Do you think God stays up in heaven because he too is afraid of what he made?"
This isn't a good show. What?
It's in Spy Kids 2, everybody.
It's like every couple of years, like the best line shows up in like some weird genre thing.
Yeah.
Like,
or one of my personal favorites is like "Be excellent to each other." That was in like a stoner kids movie, or that was in Bill and Ted.
I'll be real with you, Ben. I don't mean to diminish how much you like that line, but that's pretty low on the list there.
Yeah, okay, it's pretty. Yeah, it's low on the list, but still, it's like, hey, be excellent to each other.
Anyway, I think there's a lot of really powerful stuff in this show. This week, I'm going to watch the whole show.
Wow!
From beginning to episode 9. I'm going to do it.
I recently, like last week, I watched 1 through 5 because I was watching with Jeremy because Jeremy hadn't watched.
How's he feeling
yet? Oh, he's all caught up. He's loving it.
Cool.
Which is unsurprising. But Jeremy also hasn't seen Captain Marvel yet, so he was really glad I was there to explain why Monica mattered.
Oh, that must be weird. Yeah.
He's like, "Am I supposed to know her?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
kinda." 20 years ago.
I was like, "Hey, have you seen Captain Marvel?" No, you probably should watch Captain Marvel then, bud.
The moment. Oh, I think Brandon froze.
Oh, he definitely froze.
Yep.
Oh.
While we wait for Brandon to rejoin us, so something that honest to God, like the moment we were doing the Hydra compound flashback, I was like, so we're getting a Strucker cameo.
I thought so too.
We're gonna get a Strucker cameo.
I think you're back.
Yeah, you're back, Brandon.
What's up? Yeah, I for sure thought, oh man, the bald guy's gonna be Strucker, and then it's like, nope, just some dude.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, you name dropped Strucker in your fake commercials.
Yeah,
and we didn't get the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Marvel, get the guy.
Yeah. That's a real good scene that this Mind Stone thing. Again, man, like she has like a weird connection to it. Like it feels. I love theories. Theories are so fun. I just feel like some awakened something in her or something was in there. Like just chaos magic, unless they're not going to tie it to Chthon, like that's literally the only thing in comics that it comes from. And Doctor Strange himself says like chaos magic doesn't exist because Chthon is gone. And like the only way it could come back if he returned. That feels to me like a setup thing, but like.
Am I back?
Yeah,
you've been back for a bit.
Yeah, when you were like this. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we tried to tell you.
Great, I'm glad I'm back. I don't know what the hell happened, but I really enjoy that they introduce a new side of magic to the MCU. We have the Doctor Strange magic, which comes from a different place, and then we have whatever Catherine Hahn's coven and the chaos magic are involved in, which looks completely different, has a different visual style, but it is still a type of magic, and I think that's cool.
So Doctor Strange magic. Actually, well, the dark dimension stuff too goes into it a little bit. Like regular magic is something that you need to like practice, much like any other like expertise. Like you have to spend years to become a good magician, right? Dark magic or chaos magic, it's basically just like a free check. Like you could do what you want, but it comes at a price, and we just don't know what the price is yet. And I wonder if the price will be the children. Because like Doctor Strange, like especially the last like decade of Doctor Strange comic books have all been that every time you use magic, it has a cost, whether it's good or bad. And like I fully can see them going in that direction because like what you need an arc for magic for like the arc of the magic in the Marvel universe. You know, like where do you go with it?
Well, I can potentially see that the Catherine Hahn Coven magic is not does not need a price because it's not coming from the same source.
No, but Catherine Hahn herself is. Yeah. She dabbled in it.
But I could potentially see chaos magic being like this big thing needing a price. Because
it's basically like
it's
like anti-magic. It's like the same thing, but just like it's black magic. You don't do it if you got regular magic. Like if you're being lazy, you're trying to take the easy way out by being evil, basically.
Yeah.
And I think real quick, just on the last thing about Catherine Hahn, I think she attempted to dabble in it and she got a little piece of it and then realized like the coven realized it was so bad they stopped her before she got any further. And now she's just been for 500 years doing regular magic, like experimenting how she would with Doctor Strange. Which that's why she's mad at Wanda. Like, how did you do this? Oh, you channeled the thing no one's supposed to channel like I did. That's why she gets mad. She's a Scarlet Witch. Maybe she's jealous she's a Scarlet Witch because she wanted to be the Scarlet Witch. I'm into it. I love theories, guys. It's fun. The mailman.
I stopped. Like the only big theory or gamble that I'm probably gonna give on the show is that Doctor Strange is gonna show up at the end of the show. He's gonna show up. He's gonna give a hand to Wanda. Is like, hey, I can help you with this. And then that's like find out what happens next in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to a Doctor Strange cameo at the end of like a post credits teasing Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. I am of the. I don't think Mephisto is showing up in this show as like a big bad, but I could still see him being like the events of the show kind of pointing him towards Wanda. And that's how he is the villain. I still think he's the villain of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. At this point, I'm not so sure anymore because I think there are so many things you can do, especially once, again, just saying chaos magic, it just opens the door to an entire other section of the Marvel universe that's not tied to Mephisto. And I've been on the Mephisto train so hard, but like, man, that Mind Stone thing, just like, I was like, oh man, this could literally be something entirely different now. And it's like, I'm just not sure anymore. I'm just not sure.
I looked it up. I was on Wikipedia because I'm not reading Wanda Scarlet Witch comics, even though I should. But I read a bit where the story is that when where Wanda was born is the mountain that Chthon was trapped in.
Yes.
So perhaps my theory is that Wanda always had chaos magic because she grew up, because maybe he was trapped in Sokovia or whatever. And the power of the Mind Stone, because of being a cosmic entity, enhanced the chaos magic and grew it. So I'm not sure if like the Mind Stone is connected to chaos magic in a way. But I do think the power of its cosmic power helped it.
So yes, real quick before you say something. Yes. So I think that because I was talking to him about the Mount Wundagore stuff. It's called Mount Wundagore, where Chthon was in prison by Merlin and a bunch of other magicians thousands of years ago. I think maybe Wanda, being somebody born with the ability to use magic, Chthon was being so close to her, was able to like secretly like connect with her, and the Mind Stone unlocked the full potential. Like what's it called on with like Krillin and Gokhan with the Elder Kai. Unlock potential.
Oh yeah.
Unlock potential.
If Mount Wundagore were in Sokovia, wouldn't Chthon be free when they dropped the whole whole country?
Maybe that's what well, you know, it's deep in Merlin's a magician.
I'm just saying I don't know that we're gonna get Mount Wundagore.
No, but like that's just like the parallels. Like she could have been Sokovia is where he's established or something.
Well, let me speculate even further. Perhaps Mount Wundagore is the mountain next to Sokovia, because the city.
It's true.
That was destroyed. Not the whole continent.
It's true.
Yeah, I just smoke out of my ass. I don't know.
Listen, this is all WandaVision bullshit. Yeah,
this is all just like us throwing stuff at the wall. Like the whole show was us throwing stuff at the wall to try and see what stuck. Some stuff did.
One of the things, Ben, that I I was vehement about in the beginning. I was happy to speculate. It's been fun, but I have never been hard on any theory I have ever spoken about in the show. I've always kind of been loose, kind of just playing around with it. I went in with the expectation that everything I said would be thrown out the door by the next episode.
I think
I feel that all of us, I feel all of us also share that same mentality, because every time when I saw something that was like I got wrong, or another thing that came up, I was like, oh shit, it is this. Like when I was like after the Halloween episode, the 90s episode, or the early thousands episode, I thought, okay, maybe Agnes isn't Agatha. Next episode, boom, she is. I'm like, oh shit.
I never thought. I'll be honest though, I didn't think we'd see the Salem witch trial thing.
I didn't think
surprised.
Like last week I mentioned like Agatha's from like Salem, like she's part of that. Like I didn't expect that either, but like bam, like they give us what we want.
Oh man, I was talking to a friend of mine at work who's also watching WandaVision, and he's also freaking out because after the Agatha reveal, we met at the time clock, and he was like, dude, what do you think? Is she gonna tie into Reed Richards? Like, well, I hope so, because in the comic books she was his babysitter. And
I was gonna say, I love that you always bring up the fact that you go to work and you talk to your friends about the water cooler or whatever you're doing, because that to me is why this show has been so fun. The weekly format has created the water cooler talk again.
Yeah.
You go to work and you talk to your coworkers about it. Did you watch the episode last night? I love that. I love it.
It's what Game of Thrones did back in the day. When Game of Thrones was.
But it's what shows have been doing for decades. That Netflix was like, nah, you don't get that anymore.
You just watch the whole thing in one go.
So there's still one thing I'm unsure about.
Yeah, Ralph.
Because she mentions in like either
at this point, I think he's just a comedy bit.
You think it's just a comedy bit? Okay, yeah. Because we now know the mailman, who I thought was suspicious the whole time, is just a dude apparently in the town. Who she just thinks. What's up?
What a sad town.
Yeah. It just seems like a real sleepy ghost town where like all of the parents' kids went to college and they're all sad and alone.
If you think about it in the sense of like just wanting to fit in, like it makes sense for her to just throw around, I'm married, and fit into this scenario. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Everybody clearly laughs about it, so it must be true.
Also, she still has that rabbit, and that rabbit really quickly ate that cicada. I'm just saying.
Dottie. We don't see Dottie. We don't see Dottie.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
The actress has said that there's something coming for her. I think we're getting one more reveal, not a big one. I think we're getting one more reveal about that character.
Because people think she's from the Squadron Supreme.
Oh, where'd that come from? Who said that?
I didn't hear that.
Is that a rumor?
Yeah, people think that she shares the name with one of the characters, and her husband also shares the name with one of the characters.
They share? They're Squadron members?
That's weird, because the guy from the Squadron, the guy who plays the husband I saw, he's just like, before Wanda changed the town, he's just like sadly putting up piano lesson bullet.
I cannot imagine that guy is like Hyperion.
So I wanted to talk about that. I feel like that's a really weird vibe when she goes into the town, because it's almost like they're creating an idea of like she kind of made things better, and I'm like, yeah, that's a weird way to spin this.
I was gonna say, because when she's driving through Westview, and when she's driving through Westview and you see all the landmarks, it's like, wow, this place sucks.
It's the especially because because you walk into the town and everyone's kind of sad and the town sucks, but like then there's the person that Vision works with. I forgot the guy, Norm, who is like, but my sister, she won't let us go, blah blah blah. So like things aren't better. They're like, these people are being tortured. But then there's Herb, who's like, Wanda, do you want me to do the thing or blah blah blah?
Yeah, I wonder if that's just like I mean, hey man, it could be like a Tuesday evening. Like it's a small town. It could just that's what it looks like, you know. Like it does have like a sad vibe, but also
it has a very purposely depressing.
It
vibe.
does, but it also has a quiet suburban vibe, and I think maybe that's the point where it's quiet and it's reserved, and like Wanda finds a house, and like, oh, we can be quiet and live a regular life here, like a boring.
I'm just
life.
saying, like every time you see a person, they're more
sad.
or less sad.
Oh, I
and
agree.
I'm like, that's a weird vibe. Like they could be plain, but they look purposefully isolated and sad.
Yeah, Deborah Jorup, like the mom, the wife from episode 1, like she's like sitting in a chair and like looks like real, kind of like, life sucks, right? So like again,
I think
maybe this is where Mephisto comes back and he's making everyone look sad so she can take over the town, but I don't believe it.
I think the intention is to like give a subconscious idea that on some level Wanda thought she was improving things when she did it, even though she wasn't like later, like immediately after aware anymore. There's a level of like, this is okay because it'll be better, and I guess that's what they're going for. It's just a weird vibe.
It feels like to me that
it's like Halloween Town 2 when they're turning all the monsters into humans. And everybody's gray and depressed. It feels that way.
I think like when Wanda turns the town into like 50s Westview, I think that's like a psychological like snap. Like I think she snaps, like a mental snap.
100%.
And like that's why, like, and you mentioned earlier, that's why she actually can't remember like after like how she got here, because she had a mental breakdown where like her mind reset and she's now living in this new life.
It's very much it's very, very reminiscent of her breakdown moment in Ultron when Pietro dies.
Well, but she breaks all the
There's a lot more power there.
Oh yeah.
Well, but it's very reminiscent of that moment.
Yeah, true. Right.
I also want to say that I really like the line where Agatha says, "You're running spells miles across town, magic on autopilot."
Mm-hmm.
I think that's awesome. That Wanda doesn't, like Ryan said, Wanda snaps. She doesn't know how she's doing it. She doesn't know how this happened. It's just happened.
Again, it's like Agatha is showing her like she's speaking Latin and doing all these spells that she spent years perfecting. And again, Wanda is just doing it like it's nothing. Mm-hmm. And I can't imagine how frustrating that must be for like a 500-year-old witch who's like, you're some hot young thing, like literally creating towns out of thin air. Like, what's the secret? Like, you gotta tell me. Like, it's not fair.
God, what if they pull the rug out from under us one more time and it's like it technically isn't Wanda because like it just whatever Chthon seized on the moment of grief and just like expelled it.
That's what I'm
her.
thinking. Like this is the opportunity to like, we'll see, to do it. Like it's her weakest moment. Like he can take over.
I've been ruminating on something here that I realize now I'm like, I don't have a good answer for, which is why would director Hayward send Monica here?
Because he was helping Jimmy Woo. She was helping Jimmy Woo on the missing persons case.
No, he sent her to this missing persons case. It's the first case he gave her when she comes back, and it doesn't make sense why he would.
Is there still a missing person that we don't know about? Is that a secret cameo?
Jimmy's still a missing person.
Well, wait, you said that Hayward put the deed to the house in her car. I don't know if that's true.
I feel that way.
The mail was already opened. I feel like maybe she.
I think she might have already looked at it because she.
Okay, good point. Good point.
I thought, because when I saw the letter in the car, I thought that she knew that was hers. That was something Vision gave her.
Yeah. So my question, my answer, whatever, it could be anything. My answer would be that she didn't know, that Hayward didn't know he was sending Monica to Wanda.
Yeah, I think
that's some real bad coincidence.
It's a super coincidence.
Because my logic is like, if you're Hayward, that's the last place you want to send Monica.
Oh my God. Okay, here it is. Was Dottie on the board of all people that were missing?
No.
Yes.
No,
I don't think she was.
No, she wasn't.
Okay. What if Dottie is the missing sword agent and she's actually Abigail?
We've been told
Abigail
it's a man.
Brand. Damn it!
Jimmy Woo says it's a man.
All right, cool.
And we don't know it's a sword agent. We don't know it's a sword agent. We don't know it's a sword agent missing.
Yeah, there's still that is still a plot thread from episode 4. Like there's somebody missing in the town that's important to Sword in some capacity.
But not important to Sword. It's important to the FBI.
Sorry, okay.
And then he assigned her to it. Again, like it's just feels like real bad coincidence.
It is
that might
Monica
be for that.
That might be the one thing in the show. Like, maybe connected differently, but
I had figured that the letter had come to Wanda prior to her showing up to Sword.
Yes.
From Vision, but hey, we don't know.
I think the way that it's shot, it definitely looks like she looks down. It looks like it was almost placed there before, but I think it was open before, and
it was open before. So like,
yeah, I think it was
had it prior.
Yeah, I think it was a like almost like a misdirect. Like it's supposed to be more it's like supposed to be more suspicious, but it's actually to make the reveal be actually sweet that it was from Vision.
Yeah, could be.
Which is so sweet. Which is again why she has that breakdown. I get it. Oh my god! Real quick, I do not like speaking the name of this YouTube lady, but her name's Grace Randolph, and she's awful. I had to do it because it made me so mad. I saw like
you should have said rhymes with
Grace Randolph. It's like a 1 minute thing I saw on Twitter, and she's like, of all the things in the show, this is the one thing I don't buy. Vision's a robot. His penmanship would not look that like a human penmanship. I do not buy. I think that's a fake letter. There's no way Vision would have that type of handwriting. This is all fake to me, and that's a real statement. That this synthezoid vibranium robot man couldn't have regular person's handwriting, so this is all fake.
I just think
it's hilarious.
I just want to say, I hate her so much.
I do too. She's the worst.
I'm
sorry. I hate doing it.
Grace Randolph is a.
You're living a better life by not knowing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bad.
Here. You know what? Think Tommy Lauren, but for nerds.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. Yeah. That's perfect, Brandon. That's even worse than I could have ever thought. Right? Anyway, that's the good stuff about this episode. Everyone's great. Elizabeth Olsen still rules. Like the scene in the Avengers compound is so sweet, and Vision's like little smiles, like when he says the great line, and it's like, we're just gonna watch Malcolm in the Middle and laugh. I'm like, this is character building. This is what I want. Like, if this, just give me more of that Civil War. Come on, where was it?
I'm glad we have got the show now. I wish this had happened sooner.
Word. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else? Evil Vision. I can't wait to see like a bunch. I can't see they're gonna be like phasing through each other, lasering the town. I think it is gonna be like a big ass like bombastic two witches fighting, a speedster fighting, a couple of robots fighting. It's gonna be sick.
I wonder if he's still got if White Vision still has the laser because he doesn't have the Mind Stone.
I bet he has a laser, but it's not mind lasers.
Yeah. Be interesting. I can't wait. We haven't seen Vision. We haven't seen Hex Vision do any of the superpowers outside of fly yet.
Yeah,
and phase.
Yeah.
Phase,
yeah.
Oh, the hat's going through me.
And super speed,
which is new. Yeah.
I'm honestly I'm really excited to see Spectrum versus Pietro because it's gonna be Pietro. It's gonna be real fun
and super strength.
Okay, fine. We've seen powers. I want to see the laser.
All powers.
I want to see the laser. Damn it.
Yeah. I want to see the laser.
You just want to do. Oh, what's that famous sketch? It's like, I'm a fire in my laser.
Oh yeah. The big booms. I have a feeling like I know like probably the first half of the episode is going to be like a bunch of cool fights, like the big Marvel third act that we've been waiting for. Outside of that, I honestly have no idea what to expect, which is fantastic. Like those boys, I have a bad feeling. The actress who plays Monica said the ending is there is a real sad element to the ending. So either someone's dying, someone's leaving the multiverse. Like something bad's happening, setting up the next stuff.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the next episode. I hope that the rumors of it being towards 50 minutes are true because they have a lot of ground to cover to end the show.
Yeah. No.
But I'm very excited, but it's very weird watching the series in a widescreen format when you've watched it in full screen and television widescreen for so long, and to have the aspect ratio to the bars again, you're like, wait, hold on, I gotta read.
Do you think Vision lands like immediately? He's got to. Vision's got to get like to where Wanda is immediately in the next episode.
I would assume
he left so long ago, and he flew.
So I have to imagine that, like, again, like they're all gonna meet up, and then like they're very much like the Civil War battle. They're gonna do their pair offs, and then like a witch versus witch, robot versus robot, speedy demon boy versus energy spectrum lady.
I've been meaning to bring this up. They finally gave Wanda, because when they're not doing like the sitcom stuff, they have like MCU music, and they finally gave Wanda a theme song. Not a theme song, but like a theme, like Iron Man 3 or Thor 1, Captain America 1 have a theme. They finally gave Wanda one. I'm really excited about that.
I'll be honest, I didn't really notice, but I believe you, and I'm sure if it's reoccurring, I'll notice it more.
I noticed it in episode. No, what was I noticed it? It's at the end credits. It's the end credits theme.
Okay.
And it plays when Wanda is looking at the Mind Stone, and that's when I realized that they've created a theme for Wanda. The
like
theme song. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's been her theme, and I like it a lot.
This show, the MCU continues to have beautiful shots with things and eyeballs. Like there's a shot of Wanda with like the Scarlet Witch in her eyes. Like I always think that's real nice cinematography. I like it.
The MCU is cool, guys. You know, don't shit on anybody who like things.
Yeah, I like when I actually really enjoyed the Mind Stone scene where she's looking into the Mind Stone. The stone comes off the staff, and then you see like the silhouette of the Scarlet Witch coming down. I was like,
when the stone leaves the staff, I was like, wait, I didn't know it could do that.
Yeah.
I love and then it turns back into the when I love all the people on Twitter who think this looks like Magneto.
Yes.
I love those people.
I mean, I've seen Polaris and Jean Grey. Didn't see Magneto.
Oh, I've seen that one where they tried to say, "Oh, she's seeing Magneto. It's gonna be Magneto," and I'm like,
wow, Magneto got real hot.
Man, let that one go.
Or like Magneta.
Magneto, yeah. Even if this is maybe just like her unlocking her inner potential, you know, it's Chthon, it's still Mephisto or whatever. This is still the best Dark Phoenix saga we've ever gotten, and it's not the Dark Phoenix saga. It's about somebody like losing grips with their reality with an unlimited amount of power, and that's what Jean Grey, the Dark Phoenix saga was. It was somebody dealing with that trauma and stuff. And I'm like, this is great. Like, it's not the Dark Phoenix saga, but like, I'm glad we're getting some type of it.
You know what? The Last Stand used Scarlet Witch as the template for the Dark Phoenix saga, and they're just repaying the favor. Third time's the charm.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Yeah, Jean Grey, Scarlet Witch, and there's flip-flopping it. Good job, everybody. Everybody steals.
I remember watching The Last Stand not so long ago. Oh, it was for our X-Men episode we did with Mike Patola. I watched The Last Stand, and I was like, that's just Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
They just turned her into Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, like straight up the red, like literally like the Infinity War outfit almost.
Yeah.
Wow, I forgot. That's awful.
I forgot too. Damn.
That's a bad movie, guys.
That is a bad movie.
It's best movie.
I will go to bat for Dark Phoenix. I won't go to bat for The Last Stand.
I'm with you, Brandon.
Kelsey Grammer's Beast in that movie was pretty damn good.
Ellen Page is in that movie as Kitty Pryde. She's great.
Listen, I will. Kelsey Grammer rules. Can't save that movie. Sorry. Nope. No, I'm not watching it just for Kelsey Grammer. I'll YouTube the scenes.
I can't wait for the last episode. I'm very excited.
And then it's only a week before we're back into it. Yum, yum, yum. Feed me, Disney. Thank you. Yum, yum, yum.
March is going to be very packed with all the TV shows we're getting.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Lord.
If we're not going to, but if we wanted to, we could have like a Fake Nerds Watch like every single day of the week for the amount of shit coming out. Can't do it. Too much. Sorry.
It's too much, but we'll maybe on the hard week.
If I got paid, hell yeah, every day.
Hey guys, hold on. Yeah, if we did this for our job, guys, subscribe if you're watching this. Subscribe. Let's make this a job.
I would love to.
Subscribe and go to our Patreon too. We need.
Just subscribe.
We'd have to work harder.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, but that's the thing. Make me work harder, and I will. It will be a full screen green screen.
I think we do all right. That's all I got. Anything else you guys want to bring up?
Housemate sounded like an audience going,
They're part of the WandaVision.
Anything else you guys want to bring up, or should we wrap it home? Take it home. Wrap it up. Take it home.
I'm just glad this show has stayed consistently good. I'm very glad to be back in the Maku. I'm glad I like Wanda Maximoff as a character now, because before she was just a cool lady with cool powers. Now I like her actually as a character.
the actress playing young Wanda was real good.
Yeah, she
I
was.
thought the Sokovian family stuff was really good.
Oh, I loved it.
I'm glad that story completely matched with what we were told in Ultron.
Yep.
It was cool to watch the Stark missile come in.
Yeah, while doing a cool retcon with her powers. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I hope my final thought. I hope that the accent remains consistent because I've been enjoying that.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they're like keeping with it, and they're even having fun with it. That it's been coming and going. I'm glad that they're
like modern day Wanda. Like whenever they do like flashbacks, she'll have it depending on the era she's in, Infinity War or Civil War. But the modern day stuff, when it's not like Hex sitcom related, she's had it. I would like, okay, good, thank you, appreciate that.
Yeah, it feels like it definitely feels like that was like that creative team's decisions during that era, like the Russos and the McFeelys and stuff. Like they're like, why don't we just go back to like her actually being like a character from like a place of origin? You know, she's different than just a white lady. Yeah,
I do like the line that Agatha has is like, wow, that accent really does come and go, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's like, accent jokes.
Okay, there you go, guys. There's a penultimate episode of the Fake Nerds Watch WandaVision with the penultimate episode of WandaVision. So get ready for the final episode. Very excited.
One real quick. Make one prediction for next episode. One real quick. Okay.
I did it. It's the Hex Vision and White Vision merge.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you got? Anything?
I'm not sure. You go ahead.
We get. I have you ever? What if? I don't know. Have you ever? I'm trying to do that video. I think. The boys will disappear in some aspect, whether it's them getting thrown into the multiverse or just kidnapped. I think they will disappear, and that will be a new adventure coming.
One out there.
Vision will survive WandaVision.
Nice.
Making it vague. I like it.
Have you guys seen at the end of the Rise of Skywalker, she's like, Ray, what's your name? Ray Skywalker? Have you seen where it's like, what's your name? Wanda. Wanda what? WandaVision.
This is like a bad image of Vision.
Kill me.
I can kind of defend some of Rise of Skywalker, but that ending deserves the meme trash.
It's the worst.
Speaking of memes, I saw this great one where Thor is on the phone with Noob Master 69. He's like, "Who is Noob? Who are you?" And then it's Agatha. It's like, it was Agatha all along.
I saw that.
It's Catherine Hahn's head imposed with the controller, screaming into a headset.
I've seen really good ones where they're taking the moment where she's saying, "And I killed Sparky too," and it's like, "And I approved the Snyder Cut too."
Yeah,
and,
I've seen
things like that.
And I wrote Game of Thrones season 8 too.
Absolutely, yeah. Great memeage.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Okay. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. We greatly appreciate it. Hey, you want us to do this for a job? Subscribe. Of course, we also have plenty of other shows on this channel. We have tons of TV shows that we've been going through. So we started with Game of Thrones season 8, and we've been going consistently since then. Better shows have been done.
Better seasons of shows. If we were doing Game of Thrones when it was on, nothing would top it.
Don't act like you've watched it.
Season 8? No. I told you, I stopped halfway through season 2. Always intended to go back.
Stopped.
Maybe someday. Okay. Oh, I started watching the Marvel Netflix shows again, so never say never, kids.
Well, thank God.
Good.
It's about time.
All right. You can check out our other shows such as Fake Nerd Book Club, which just put up an episode of Little Char and the Gang. That's the second episode of that. There's one more of that coming, and then we can do another cycle with a new book. So stay tuned for that.
Can you imagine like the Twitter pandemonium if Charlie Cox shows up in one of the Marvel things, and then it's like, well, now I gotta go watch all the Netflix shows. Like everybody reacting that way that never did, and they're like, oh, homework.
Well, that was my reaction after Evan Peters showed up, where I was just like, well, I should probably catch up on those after a while because I stopped after Defenders.
Those 3 seasons of Daredevil. That's like 2 excellent seasons of TV and then 1 pretty decent season of TV. Like, yeah.
You can also check out our Basement Arcade series where we do let's plays of different video games. Basement Arcade Pause Menu is our newest show. A second episode of that with adults talking anime. That's up now. With adults talking anime, I apologize. That's up now. That's all we have here. But of course, you can check out our live streams every Sunday. We do the Fake Nerd Podcast. You can check out our episodes of the Fake Nerd Podcast are up there on audio platforms and video platforms. We do live streams every Sunday because of the quarantine that will never end. And we have last week we did what did we do last week? Arch Enemy?
What did we do?
Yeah,
Arch Enemy.
Last week we did Arch Enemy. Sorry, 2 weeks ago because this is probably not going up until Monday. And then last week we did I can't pronounce it. Sparks, what is it?
I'm not gonna go for it.
Zhu?
Oh, that's terrible. Wow.
Oh boy. We're watching an animated movie this week, last week.
Zhang Xian.
Thank you. Check it out. We did that. That's just our normal episodes. We just hang out with each other and do our live streams. You can subscribe to those. And of course, that's it. But check out our Patreons and our TeePublics and our website at fakenerdpodcast.com. And you can find us on Fake Nerd Podcast on all social medias. And you can find me on BC McClure on Instagram and Twitter. You can find Ben
at BenMaggot27 on Instagram and Twitter.
Sparks.
You can find me entirely confident that Vision will live at Sparks Witty on Instagram, Twitter, SPRKZ Witty.
Ryan.
DJ Tony Snark everywhere.
And until next time you see us, guys, stay fake nerds.